Today, we're talking about the fact that it's okay to not be okay and how important it is to start practicing non judgment towards yourself. So, this is a theme that has been coming up a little bit in my life, not only in one of the workshops I was doing, but also just talking with other different people and also just in my observations of myself. When things happen and you're having a really bad day, then you're drawn automatically if you don't practice this non-judgment towards yourself, and you're also just being programmed as a society, you're kind of drawn to wanting to create a story about every single thing, attaching it to a story, attaching it to a memory, attaching it to something that happened, attaching it to a feeling that you felt before, attaching it to what someone has said and done and felt about you. So it builds and it builds. So you can wake up feeling grumpy, and then you immediately start to seek out logical, in your mind, reasons of why am I grumpy? Oh, it could be because of this, and because of this, and because of this, because of the astrology, because of uh, something that happened 2 days ago, because someone said something. You start to seek out, and then you latch onto ideals, and this is why it's happening. And then all of a sudden you've now got to define certainty, which could have actual no real basis. In fact, you were just grumpy for that moment. So instead of going into all the stories, what if you actually just ask yourself, well, what do I need in this moment? Truly ask yourself that question. And it might be, I just need 5 minutes for myself. I might need a cup of coffee. I might need to go for a walk. I might need to take a bath. I might need to have a shower. I might need to meditate. I might need to go and punch and kick a boxing bag. I might need to go and scream into a pillow. Instead of looking externally for an answer and a story into your past memories or what's going on around you, and also what happens in this moment, the moment we start to look into the stories of why am I doing this, or this, we start to see and think and feel that being grumpy is a bad thing. And then we start to associate the bad thing with a negative thing. And then, oh no, I've got to be in a really good high vibe and I've got to do all these other different stuff. And it just gets more and more external. When the simple answer is, well, what do I want to do in this moment? And you can have this about any of your emotions. If someone does something to you and betrays you, you are allowed to be angry. You're allowed to feel rage. You're allowed to feel all these things. And you ask yourself, okay, what do I really want to do in this moment? And I honestly feel like a lot of people who let their rage out of control and they end up doing things like damaging other people's properties or themselves or saying things that they don't want to is because they've bottled their rage, or they have labeled it as a bad thing instead of allowing it to flow through you, to feel the rage and let it flow through you. And why don't you talk to it like it's an actual thing? Oh, what do I need to do? I don't know. I'm so angry at this moment. Okay. I see that you're really, really angry. But we need to let this anger and this rage out into some kind of outlet that's not going to hurt ourselves or anyone else, and just let it out. What can we do? Ask yourself questions. Tap into your own innate wisdom, your own intuition. Oh, and you just allow ideas to come to you. You might get a suitcase, not a suitcase, a pillowcase, wet it, and then go and bash the ground with it. You could kickbox, you could print out someone's face and throw darts at it. You could scream at things, you could go and smash a glass, although that does require you pick it up. So maybe nothing that's going to require a lot of effort afterwards, because then you just get irritated with yourself. Um, there's that process where you get a coconut and you actually put all your rage and your anger into it. I'm trying to think of the lady who suggests this, and it popped out of my head. But she teaches that you can get a coconut, put all your rage and everything you're angry at, and then you go and smash the coconut, and it just goes everywhere, and it's like, oh, it feels so good. Things like that. Whatever pops into your head, don't dismiss it. But the really important thing is to practice non-judgment towards yourself, no matter what you're feeling. And don't be afraid to go there. If you're feeling petty, acknowledge that you're feeling petty. Oh, this person's done this and I really just want to do this. I know that that's not going to really be helpful. It's probably going to make the situation worse, but I just want to be really petty. It's okay. It's okay to be not okay. So, what if you're depressed? Well, there's lots of different levels of depression. But what I can say for sure is being judgmental towards yourself for being depressed is only going to keep you depressed for longer. All right, I am feeling super depressed. I can't get out of bed. What's one thing I can do? And you actually start to have these intimate conversations with yourself. I'm so exhausted. I cannot lift my head off this pillow. What's one thing I could do? I'm going to sing to myself. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Whatever comes into your head. And what you're doing is you're retraining trust within your body and trust within yourself. Instead of dismissing these ideas and these intuitions and these innate knowings as silly or less than or inconsequential, what if they're actually incredibly powerful? So I just wanted to put this out there to have people reminded of this. If we're in the now and we're really present in the now, then the past is in the past and it no longer exists, because only what exists is literally what is in the now. So we have these things that happen in our past, in our earlier selves, and we will attach lots of emotional stories and a lot of echoes, I call them, and you create stories around traumas and wounds, and um, then everything becomes associated with them and you see them everywhere. But what happens if in the moment, instead of associating and going straight to the trauma, which is such a big thing, what if we actually asked ourselves in that moment, in that present now, well, what do I want to do? Same with the future. You're so worried about the future. This is happening. I've got to do this. I've got to have this amount of money. I'm da da da. I don't know if I'm doubting, and you're so consumed with the doubts. And I have doubts that I'm going to get this because, and here's the story. Attach another story to it. But what if you asked your body, asked yourself, I need X amount of money by X amount of time. What do I need to do now? Oh, I need to rest. The hell? I can't rest right now. But what if that was the best thing for you? What about I need X amount of money and I need it by now, like I need it by 3 days' time. What can I do for that? Oh, go and have a conversation with such and such, or make a post, or a new idea comes through for some kind of thing that you're marketing towards, or you have some idea, oh, that's actually brilliant. I could do that. The answer is not going to be in the worrying and the concerns. It's not going to be in the doubting. It's not going to be in the fears. It's not going to be in the stories. The answer to all of our solutions are going to be in now, going to be ideas that come to you. And the only question is, are you going to listen to those ideas or are you going to listen to the stories? So I just feel like it's really important to acknowledge to people to really start practicing this more and to not get stuck in stories, not get stuck in the traumas, the wounds, the past ways they've done, the habits, sabotaging patterns, all of it. You can become free of it all. Start asking yourself, what should I do? What do I do next? And start trusting yourself and building that trust. And I'm well aware that this will take time. It took me time. I had to build trust in trusting myself. But magic happens when you really start to do this, and you can rapidly transform your life. So please stop labeling yourself as mad, bad, or sad. Stop labeling the feelings that you have as wrong, because you're not valuing yourself if you're labeling yourself as wrong in any way. And you stay stuck longer feeling like that than if you just had a feeling and you acknowledged it and then ask yourself some questions and move forward. So I hope this little reminder has been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear about it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm also going to put some resources down below, which you might find helpful. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.